So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Gemma Samuel and I am the founder of Gem Media Marketing Agency. So I set up my marketing agency about 5 years ago, and I've been helping businesses in the UK and internationally with their digital marketing to get them heard. So I do this through multiple digital platforms, and a lot of the time I'm finding clients saying to me, well, I can't really invest in that marketing unless you can generate leads for us and we can get a return. So for me as a consultant, it was quite difficult because I couldn't really guarantee that at the start. So I've had to try and test different formulas, which have enabled me to guarantee that I can provide leads through social selling. So I've done a little presentation which I'm going to share with you and I'll talk you through. So let me just share this with you. Okay, hopefully you can all see that. So today's talk is going to be social selling and maximizing online sales. So let's start with, first of all, what is social selling? So social selling is not social media marketing, and it comprises of 3 different areas. So when we think of selling on social media, we have to think about who we are targeting, because we can't make sales unless we are targeting the right people. So like any marketing, we need to understand who our ideal client is. And then we need to think about how we're going to develop the relationship with these ideal clients. And then we need to think about generating leads and sales. So these 3 things are what makes us able to sell via our social media. So who we're targeting, what relationships we're getting, and how we're generating the lead. So is social selling the same as social media marketing? No, it's not. And the reason for this is because social media marketing is the strategy. So this is where, before we start social media, we'll think about who we want to target and how we're going to target them. So what kind of content are we going to post that's going to A, engage with them, and B, interact with them? So that's what social media marketing is. Then you have social advertising, and this is when we understand how we can reach our audience. So what social media platforms are we going to use, and how are we going to reach them, through what digital platforms? And then we look at social selling, which is what we'll be talking about in more detail now. And that's actually selling through our social media. So it's not social media marketing and it's not social advertising, it's social selling, and it's a whole nother chapter in itself. So who is social selling for? This is for businesses ultimately. So if you're a business owner and you're listening to this right now, I hope that by the end of it, you will understand how to generate sales through your social media. So if you want to target your ideal client, if you want to build relationships with your ideal client, and if you want to make sales, then I'm so glad you're here today, and hopefully I can help you. So the first part of social selling is targeted marketing. So how are you going to target your people, your ideal client, and how are you going to get their awareness and their interest? So we attract our audience through awareness. So quite a lot of the time when I start with a client in the initial stages, I say to them that at the beginning, all you can really expect in month 1 of your social media marketing and is brand awareness, because the post that you're putting out is what is going to get the awareness of your brand to start off with. And then as time goes on, that's when your brand becomes, your clients can identify who your brand is through your logo, through your corporate colors, what kind of style post that you're using. So once you have their awareness and you're consistent with it and you're posting daily, that is when you're going to pick up their interest. So to target your ideal clients, you need to get their awareness and their interests. And then if you're not doing that, you need to actively follow new accounts. So you need to research who your clients are. The ideal client that you want to meet, you can go out there on social media and find them. And you can do this through the hashtag of the location. So if you're targeting a specific area, you can find that hashtag and you can find people who are using that hashtag, and you can then engage with them and like their posts and comment on their posts, and that will generate the interest. So ultimately, at the beginning stages of you trying to social sell, it's about you creating a brand, and it's about you going out there and making sure that everyone remembers who your brand is and what your identity is, and that will capture their interests. So how you do that all depends on the content that you put out there and getting the interest of them, so that you can then convert them through whatever call to action you use. So on your content, you need to include call to action, whether this is link in bio, which you might have seen on Instagram, or actually including the website address link on Facebook posts or LinkedIn posts. You should be diverting your audience to wherever you want to sell. So if you're selling on Instagram Shop, eBay, your own website, you should include that link so that you are always giving your customers a call to action. So let's take a look at a sales funnel here. It's a bit blurry, I think. I hope you can see it. So we have at the top the awareness and the interest, which is what I spoke about in targeting your market. So once you understand who you're targeting and how you're going to put creative content out there, that's what we will achieve. You'll get their awareness and you'll get their interest. But then what we want to do is make your brand a consideration for them. We want to convert them into a customer. So at the point where it says consideration and intent, that's really where you need to be using social media powerfully to capture them. So in order for your brand to become a consideration for them, we need to make conversions through the call to action. So like I said, adding your website link and wherever your shop is, or wherever they can make some form of e-commerce online, that's what link we need to include. But ultimately, it's also about including different touch points along the way that makes your customer stay with your brand. So if they find you on Facebook and they then go over to Instagram, you want to get them there, and then you want to get them on Facebook too, and then you want to get them to your website. So wherever they're going on their social media journey, they'll end up at your website, because that's always your goal. And I think a lot of the time businesses can get so caught up in having a presence on social media and putting content out there, but it doesn't have clarity and it doesn't have a clear guidance for the customer to follow. So you need to navigate them in the right way, like you would if you had a brick and mortar store. They'd be coming in and you'd be guiding them through your signage in your shop where to take them. And it's the same with your social media. So you need to have a goal of how you're going to get them from A to B to buy. So the multiple touch points are all your digital platforms. And I put email marketing here because this is a fantastic way of capturing them and making the difference between getting your client from the top of the sales funnel, which we spoke about being the awareness and the intent, down to the consideration. So once they have your awareness and they're now considering it, they then get an email from you. And that's just reminding them and building on the relationship. So email marketing is a fantastic platform And actually during the coronavirus and situations what's happening now, email marketing is actually up 40%, and a lot of people are now opening emails, engaging more with brands that they want to hear from, and clicking on their call to actions to their website. So if you're not utilizing email, then now is a perfect time for you to look through your database and sort of brush up on who's actually in there and who you're communicating with. Because once you have built that relationship with them on social media and they then receive an email from you, that could be the tipping point for them thinking about buying from you to actually buying from you. So email marketing is great. CRM systems I've put here is a great way to sort of warm up your prospects. So if you have potential clients on your social media that are thinking about buying from you, and they've sent you a couple of messages on social media and your brand has responded, you might be so busy with your day-to-day running that you can't personally message this client, but having systems in place to say, do you need further help, etc., or anything like that, just having a clear understanding of who's actually interested, and then from you providing that service, it's going to make them go to the next level of considering to buy from you. So always map out what kind of clients are interested in buying from you, and sort of keep a CRM system of that, because that can be the difference between an initial a client that wants to buy from you and just someone who's watching you online. Oh, sorry guys. So let's talk about consistent posting. So every day you should be posting on your social media, because if you're not, then the awareness is going to go and you might forget that they might forget about your brand. So like I said, having a consistent post every single day and having one on your grid as well as your story is so effective for your brand awareness. And customer reviews and testimonials. So if I'm trying to accept this person, so if your client is thinking about buying from you and you're adding customer reviews and testimonials, then this could be another way of them thinking, actually, I am going to buy off them. So that's great content to share, customer reviews and testimonials, because a lot of the time people now want to do research on the brand, the business and the product. So share that onto your content. So to go from targeted marketing, so we've spoken about targeting your ideal client and how we can do that. Now, once we've created that awareness and we've sort of got their intent to buy, we need to build relationships with them. So we need to target the people, but we also need to connect with them. So I found a quote here that says 76% of respondents were more likely to buy from a brand they felt connected to on social media than a competitor. So if you are connecting with your ideal clients and you feel like these clients, you know them and you know you're socially listening to what they want and you're providing them with value on your social media, they're 76% more likely to buy from you. So that is a really interesting statistic right there, and it's quite a high one. So I would definitely recommend keeping a CRM system for your social media and thinking of how you can utilize that to actively sell. So to also build the relationship further on social media, you should go through your news feed every day. So it's as much as important as it is to put content out there, you should also be liking and commenting with people that you follow. Because if they keep seeing your brand come up and they realize that actually there is a human behind this brand, then they're so much more likely to buy from you because that you're engaging with them. And I put be human to human here. I don't know if you've heard of that approach before, but typically marketing used to be segmented into two areas, business to business and business to consumer. But I've always called it human to human, because whether you're targeting businesses or whether you're targeting customers, we're all still people, and we're all still people that buy and consume. So if they know that a human is behind that brand in the first instance, then they're going to buy from you. Competitions are an excellent way to connect with people on your social media, and running exclusive promotions just for your clients that have bought from you before to build that rapport further. So I put here about social listening. I mentioned that just on the last slide. Social listening is huge, especially with everything going on right now. I feel that not enough brands were social listening in the first place, and that is the difference between the companies that were still able to sell and those that weren't, because you can't be tone deaf if you're a business and you have a pandemic going on, because regardless of what's happening in the world, you need to know what your clients want, your customers want at that time, and you need to use social media to communicate that to them. So by understanding what keywords they're using, by understanding what they're looking for and what they want to buy, that can really help you build the relationship further. And it can also help with your content strategy. So you know what to put out if your client is saying that they want this from a brand, and then all of a sudden your brand is offering it, who are they going to buy from? Especially when you're there on social media, liking and commenting on their pictures. You're then delivering value. And I think with sales, we all want to know that what we are about to invest in, we are then going to get value. So with the customer service side of building relationships, we need to respond to our customers straight away. A lot of the time we're going to social media to get response, to get feedback, to complain, or to share our positive experience. We want an immediate response because we know that a person is behind there. What we don't want to do is reply with a chatbot or an automated message, because that can really kill the relationship. And we also need to embrace user-generated content. And by this, what I mean is, if your clients or customers are sharing photos of themselves with your product, then you can screenshot that and use that on your own social media and tag them. And a great example of this is Starbucks. Now, Starbucks use user-generated content all the time from people that go there for a coffee, especially the influencers, and they're sharing it. And they don't need to worry about their content because their customers are doing it for them. And it's going to have much more impact. And I've put in this chart here what customers hope to gain by calling out brands on social media. So 70% of consumers want to raise awareness among consumers, and 55% want an apology or a solution. And I was quite surprised by 19% only wanting a discount, but there you go. So try and just provide customer service on social media where you can. And if you can mention this on your website that you offer it via social media, that's even better, because people want to reach out to you.
Just open that link if you haven't already.
Sorry, I don't know how to mute. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Right, so relationship building and then generating leads. So this is the main core part of social selling, obviously, but with the targeted marketing and the relationship building, that's all fundamental parts to it. But generating the lead itself, we should look at the incentive. So how are we going to take the customer down the sales funnel from getting their awareness to making them have the intent to buy, to then making them want to actually convert into a buying customer? We have to provide them with an incentive, and then we want to give them the link, and then hopefully we can provide a landing page. Now, I don't know how many of you have actually included like a PDF or a freebie or a document that your customers can download from your website in exchange for their data, because right now it's very common and it's happening quite a lot, especially whilst everyone's at home and people are looking to consume more content. You can create sort of a downloadable PDF and get their email addresses, and that's typically where landing pages are used for. But if you was to provide one for a sale, then that's really great, because you're getting their interest ready for when they're next going to buy, and then you can use your email marketing to then give them an incentive to go through with that. So if you've got something that's excellent, and if you can communicate that to your audience, then your audience will understand that their name and email is a small price to pay for what they're getting. So this is what your customers will then trust you for. So you're then gaining their trust because they're providing an email address in exchange for what you have to offer. So I've got this here. It says don't spam them or sell their emails, because a lot of the time companies will create a newsletter and they'll push, but push sales tactics do not work anymore. We need to use social media in a more tactful way, and we need to use social media to show that we care about our customers, and that if they was to click our link, everything is going to be fine and we're not going to sell their data and stuff like that. So we have to give them that reassurance for our social media, and by building the relationships we will get that. So with our leads that we get, so the relationships that we then build and then we put into our CRM system, we are thinking, okay, so a percentage of our followers are interested and their exact account handles are these people. So you could then use those people to tag next time you have a product or you want to upload something, you could tag them in your social media post. Or you could use those to send out emails. So you're nurturing them and you're reaching them at every touch point of their digital journey. So you'll generate the lead and then eventually it will become an e-commerce sale. So they'll go to your website and they'll buy. And then how you use that data is then how it will reoccur into further leads, because that all depends on your social media and how that you're communicating and connecting with the people that are buying. So in essence, I suppose with what I've spoken about, targeted marketing, relationship building, and the actual lead generation, the summary of it is to target your ideal client. So think about who your ideal client is and where they are online and how you're going to target them through what content, and listen to what they want and provide them with the value. So if you feel like offering a freebie right now, a downloadable PDF in exchange for their data via one of your landing pages is an effective way of doing it, then do that, because you're nurturing them and you're getting trust. They're giving you their email address right now, and then what that will do is then make them into a sale further down the line. Like, comment and nurture them to get them down the sales funnel. So if they're on your social media and they've expressed an interest in a product or anything like that, then return the favor and like and comment on theirs, because once they know that they have that relationship with your brand, they're much more likely to buy from you. So I hope that was useful. If you would like to type in the comments if you have any questions.